Hello, everybody, and welcome. Do you know there's a lovely story in a book called The Glass Bead Game about a young teenage musician who's incredibly gifted, and he's applied for a place in the most exclusive music school in the country. But to be offered a place, he must pass an audition with a music master. He's an absolute bag of nerves as the time approaches. Finally, the day arrives. He's shown into a large hall, and in the hall there's a piano with a piano stool, and some distance away a little chair. He's told to sit on the chair and wait. After a bit, the music master comes in, sits on the piano stool, but not facing the piano. He turns it around so he can face the young man. The young man's really nervous, and he dives into his satchel, brings out all his exercise books, packed with the theory of music he's been studying for years. And the music master smiles and says, No, don't worry about any of that. Just play me a tune from memory, maybe a tune from your childhood. Well, the young man's not expecting this, but he does as he's asked. And it's musically perfect, but you can still see how nervous he is playing it. And the music master swings round on the piano stool to face the piano, very gently, very politely almost. He starts to accompany the young man by playing the same tune very quietly. It relaxes him a lot, and his playing improves. And then the music master starts adding a few more notes and jiving it up. And the young man's so delighted he responds. And on his violin, he starts adding more notes. And this goes on and on and on, till after a while, they're both boogie-woogieing away, making fantastic music. And the young man's face is glowing with joy. And that is how God works. He accompanies us. He doesn't order us around, push us here, there, or anywhere, tell us what to do. He's given each and every one of us unique gifts. And he accompanies us as we start to play the tune of those gifts he's given us. And each one of us has gifts that nobody else has. You would be useless at doing what Mother Teresa did. Oh, Mother Teresa would be useless at doing what you did, because you're not Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa is not you. And you're not supposed to be somebody else. You're supposed to be you. And the gifts God has given to us, he wants us to play the music of heaven throughout our lives. But sometimes we have the craziest ideas of God. When you tell a young child that God is their loving Father, that's a wonderful thing to say. But then they look around trying to make sense of it. So they think about their own dad. God must be like my dad. And if for whatever reason there isn't a dad in the family, they'll think about their best friend's dad. And dad might be kind and loving and supportive, but if you kick a football through the brand new window he's just put in, he's going to lose his temper. Well, of course he is. We all understand that. But that child can grow up thinking God is loving and kind and supportive, but if he does something really naughty, then God will lose his divine temper. That's rubbish. That's not God. It's got nothing to do with God. That's just a bigger version of my dad. I wonder how many of us are wandering around life thinking God is a bigger version of our dads. We have to get to know God for ourselves. The other day when I was driving past the station, I noticed they're building a massive multi-story car park. And I am certain that when it's finished, people will park their cars there. I really believe that. I'm sure you do as well. But I don't trust anybody who's going to park their car there. I'm not being nasty, but I don't know who is going to park their car. I've never met them in my life before. How can I have a relationship with somebody I've never met? And the secret is developing our relationship with God. Belief isn't the same as faith. And as that relationship grows, we have to allow other people to develop their own relationships with God. There's nothing worse than dragging a 15-year-old teenager to church on a Sunday. It's really going to make them resentful and angry, and it solves nothing. It's like knocking on the bathroom door and asking them if they brush their teeth. And when they're 15 years old, they get really annoyed if you ask them that. But when they are a young child, if you give them a toothbrush and say, when you've grown up, if you want to start brushing your teeth, I won't stop you. They will never brush their teeth. And long before they're 15, all their teeth will have fallen out. So families brush their teeth together. That's what they do. And children brush their teeth because mum and dad brush their teeth. And it's important to mum and dad, and the children follow the example of the parents. That's the vow you took in baptism. And a vow isn't a promise. A vow is a vow is a vow. It's the most sacred commitment a human being can ever give. And you took a vow to share your faith and practice it with your son or daughter until they're old enough to work it out for themselves. To bring them regularly to Mass, to pray with them, to brush your teeth as they brush their teeth. So when they reach those teenage years, you've given them a really good faith, just as you've given them a good set of teeth. And so now is the time to start bringing them to Mass. Not next month or the month after, but right now. We've plenty of room in this beautiful church for social distancing, and the children love coming. And finally, after Christmas, we're going to invite you to a really special online course called the Alpha Course. It's really powerful and very interesting. It's all about the questions we've always wanted to ask. Why does God exist? Why is this world in such a mess? What's really going on? And it's a series of videos over a few weeks by totally normal people. You'd be really surprised at what they have to say. We'll send you the information before Christmas. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can watch it on your own tablet. And if you don't like it, you just stop watching it. But please make sure you watch the first one, and I think you'll all be hooked, and it will be great for all of us on our journey of faith. More info before Christmas. May God bless you all.